My girlfriend said, I'm taking a self-discovery trip with my ex for 2 weeks. I said, sounds great. Then I moved out while she was gone and left a note. I discovered myself too. Her frantic voicemail started before she even boarded the return flight. And honestly, even now, months later, I can still hear the tremble in her voice every time I think about it, like she suddenly realized the world didn't orbit around her choices anymore. It's funny how quiet realizations hit hardest, and mine didn't come in a dramatic burst of anger like you'd expect. It grew slowly, like the soft ache you get before a storm. I guess I should start at the beginning, back when I still convinced myself that love meant tolerating discomfort, making excuses, and pretending things weren't as bad as they felt. Her name was Emily. We'd been together for almost 3 years, living in a small apartment in Denver that smelled like her favorite vanilla candles and the coffee I always brewed first in the morning, because she hated the sound of the machine, but loved waking up to the smell. You know, all those little domestic habits that make you feel like you're building a life together? I clung to them, thinking they meant something solid, something permanent. But now I think they were more like routines I used to convince myself that she cared as much as I did. Things started shifting about 6 months before the so-called self-discovery trip. She got a new job at a creative agency downtown, filled with people who wore oversized sweaters, mismatched earrings, and used phrases like energetic alignment unironically. I didn't mind it at first. She seemed happy, excited even, until she started coming home later, always exhausted but strangely energized, like she was living a second life I wasn't part of. One name kept slipping into her stories. Ethan. Her ex, the one she described as toxic but spiritually connected, which I always thought was code for terrible for me, but exciting in a chaotic way. I'd never met him, but I'd seen pictures. The kind of guy who looked like he lived off protein shakes and emotional manipulation. She insisted they were just friends now, but something in the way she talked about him made my stomach twist, not out of jealousy, but out of realization. She still needed validation from him, and that should have been the first red flag I actually paid attention to. Still, I tried to be supportive. I listened. I asked questions. I gave her space. But space is a funny thing. Give too much of it, and sometimes people fill it with whatever pulls hardest. One night, she came home tipsy after some work gathering and said, "You're so stable, Tyler. I love that you're dependable." It sounded like a compliment, but I caught the faint disappointment buried underneath. She wanted chaos again. Fireworks. Drama. I wasn't that. I was calm water, steady and predictable. But what she didn't realize was that calm water can also drown you slowly. And I was already sinking. The trip announcement came 2 weeks later. I remember her standing in the kitchen, swaying slightly, chewing on her bottom lip like she did whenever she practiced softening a blow. "So, she said, tucking her hair behind her ear, "I've been thinking Ethan and I are going on a trip." I stared at her, waiting for the punchline. She didn't blink. "A trip?" I asked. "Like both of you?" "It's not what you think," she rushed out, waving her hand in the air like she could fan away the absurdity. "It's for self-discovery, emotional grounding. He invited me because we used to connect really deeply, and I feel like I've lost pieces of myself." "Pieces you need your ex to find?" The words slipped out quieter than I meant them to. She sighed, stepping closer. "Tyler, come on. You know I love you. This is just different. It's something spiritual. You wouldn't understand. You're too logical." And there it was, the truth behind everything. I wasn't chaotic enough. I wasn't dramatic enough. I wasn't whatever version of passion she'd romanticized in her mind. "I'll only be gone 2 weeks," she said, smiling softly as if she was doing something noble. "We'll be stronger after this. You'll see." And for the first time in months, something inside me snapped into clarity. Not anger, just clarity. "Sounds great," I said, and I swear the relief that washed over her face told me everything I needed to know. She wasn't expecting me to fight for her. Maybe she wanted the ego boost of a man begging her not to go. Or maybe she wanted an excuse to paint me as controlling if I said no. But I didn't give her either. I played along. I kissed her forehead. I helped her pick outfits for the trip. I even drove her to the airport, listening to her ramble about her expectations for emotional breakthroughs, wondering if she even realized she hadn't asked about mine in months. Then she boarded the plane. 2 weeks, 14 days, 336 hours. And I used every one of them to quietly set myself free. I took my clothes, my tools, my books, the things I had paid for. I packed slowly, methodically, without the dramatics she probably expected from any reaction involving her. I called my brother Jason, who'd always been blunt with me about her, but never rude, and he drove over with his truck to help. "You sure?" he asked, watching me fold the last few shirts I had left in our shared dresser. "Yeah," I whispered. "I feel like I've been sure for a long time." We loaded everything up. I cleaned the apartment. I left the keys on the counter. And right before I walked out, I wrote a note on the same notepad where she used to leave reminders like, "Buy oat milk," or "Don't forget your appointment." I discovered myself too. Simple, direct, no accusations, no anger, just truth. I didn't block her. I didn't ghost her. I simply disappeared from the space she expected me to remain in. The first voicemail came 12 days into her trip. She sounded irritated. "Hey, I tried calling. Why aren't you picking up? Anyway, I need to know where you put the charger for the camera. Call me back." I ignored it. The second voicemail hit a different tone, confused, almost annoyed. "Tyler, seriously, why aren't you answering? Did something happen? Are you mad? Just talk to me." Then came the third, and that one shook. "Ty, I just got a notification that rent wasn't paid. Did you forget? I am sure it's just a mistake, but call me, please." Then day 14 arrived. Her flight landed at 3:28 p.m. At 3:31 p.m., the first full panic voicemail came through, her voice trembling, air shaky like she'd sprinted to the terminal. "Where are you? The apartment, it's empty. Everything is gone. Tyler, what is happening? This isn't funny. Call me, please." By 3:37 p.m., she'd found a note. "Tyler, please. I'm sorry, okay? I didn't mean to make you feel unimportant or replaceable or whatever this is. Just please call me. We can talk. We can fix this. Ty, I love you. Please." I sat on my brother's couch listening to that voicemail, not with satisfaction, not with smugness, but with a final sense of release you feel when a heavy door finally shuts behind you. It's strange. I thought I'd feel vindicated, triumphant, maybe even cruel. But all I felt was a quiet truth that she had pushed me so far out of her emotional world that she didn't notice I had already left long before she boarded that plane. She kept calling for weeks. The messages shifted from apology to anger to regret to denial. "I can't believe you do this. You blindsided me. I didn't cheat. Ty, I need you. Please talk to me. You should have fought for us." But here's the thing. You can't fight for a relationship alone, and you can't fight someone into seeing your worth. I didn't leave to punish her. I left because I realized staying was punishing myself. I got my own apartment, started going to the gym regularly again, caught up with friends I had unintentionally drifted from because I was too busy walking on emotional eggshells. My brother introduced me to a hiking group. I stopped feeling like my life was shrinking to fit someone else's expectations. Months passed before her final voicemail, the one where her voice sounded tired, resigned, like she had finally stopped bargaining with reality. "I hope you're okay," she said quietly. "I hope you're happy. I'm sorry I didn't appreciate you when I had you." And then nothing else, just silence. People ask me sometimes if leaving without a confrontation was cowardly, if moving out while she was gone was cold. But I think confrontation only matters when both people are actually present emotionally. She left long before I did. I just happened to be the one who physically moved out. I didn't punish her. I simply matched the priority level she had given me. That's the real self-discovery she never expected. And honestly, I'm happier now. Not because she's gone, but because I'm finally back.